Hi everyone, it's Tamsin Young from tamsinyoung.com and welcome to my latest episode. Today I'm going to be talking about the imposter syndrome. Now, if you're like me, you may not even know what that's about. Have you ever felt that you're not good enough, procrastinating taking any action? Then maybe you're suffering from the imposter syndrome. I came across this when I was doing Tori's Sacred Affluence Blueprint Challenge, and in there she asked us about why we procrastinate, what drives our procrastination or us not getting on and taking action. And she referred us to a Periscope by Nicole Walters where she talks about this imposter syndrome and what it is all about. And when I listened to it, I recognised myself in many of the descriptions that she gave in her article. The definition of the imposter syndrome is where high-achieving persons are unable to internalize their own accomplishments, so they have a tendency to dismiss them and they have a fear of being called out. Now, I know that I do that in my life. I'm a CPA, a Certified Practicing Accountant, and the only time I've ever put up my certificates showing my accomplishments is when I was running my business and I was in public practice. For the rest of the time, they've been sitting. In fact, I think it was only when I went into business that I even framed my certificates, and for the rest of the time they just stay in the cupboard somewhere. And I really tend to dismiss even the work that it took, the work and the sacrifice that I took to achieve those accomplishments and to get to where I have in the accounting field. The other area that I know that I dismiss my achievements is in my energy work. Now, my energy work is something that I have been involved with for as long as I have been in my accounting career, but I chose to follow the accounting path at an early age probably because it was a more acceptable form of career to follow. And when Nicole was giving her descriptions of how this can come about, that we have this imposter syndrome, there was an incident that came to mind, and it was when I first got involved in the energy work and I was learning about aromatherapy. And we were doing the massage, and our teacher said to me that I had really good hands and I was really very good, which of course I was very flattered that she had complimented me on my ability and the skills that I had. But of course at that stage it was very early on in learning about these things, and I actually had no idea what I was really doing. So I had the skill that she said, but I didn't have this connection to it, and no sort of guidance on what to do and how to go about using this. And there was almost like this expectation that I would just know what to do, which was very, very far from the case of how I felt. And I felt I had to live up to this expectation of being good, but having no guidance and never thinking to ask for some mentorship in how to go about it. And my logical side always came into play of being able to operate from my head as opposed to operating from my heart and trusting my heart. And this has been my whole path in now coming back to where I am now, in going back into my energy work where I've focused on the accounting side. Now I'm going back into the energy side. So when Nicole went into details of what the imposter syndrome can look like in your life, I knew that I had this problem. In the main, it's about preparing for opportunities without taking that final leap. My downfall from the descriptions that she had is in taking courses, buying courses, either not even doing the courses that I bought, where they're online courses, or going and doing training and not implementing it. Just learning and feeling like I've got to get another certification, I've got to get another certification, I don't know enough, I'm not going to be good enough. This total fear of not being good enough, of comparing myself to other people in the field and thinking I'm never going to be as eloquent as them in conveying the information. if somebody asks me a question, I'm not going to be able to answer them. I'm not going to have the answers, and I'm going to feel like a fraud. And it's really, that is just so not true. I know that I have the skills. Where I have to grow is in dropping from my head into my heart and coming from a place of love and not logic. Learning to tune in and trust my intuition and know that I already have everything that I need. To stop comparing myself to others and accept my gifts as being unique to me and that I can bring my own slant to them. So I share this story with you so that you know, first of all, that you're not alone, that there are many people out there who suffer from it. But taking that step, I would encourage you and I support you in taking that step, going out there and doing what you love and knowing that you are good at it and that you can do it. You're not an imposter. We're all on a journey and we're all learning, and every day we learn more and more. And this isn't necessarily intellectual knowledge that we're talking about, but heart knowledge, coming back to our true essence and tuning into who we really are. So I'd really encourage you to not let your fears hold you back, not let your fears of not being good enough hold you back. Step out in faith and do what you love.